Record. Okay.
So settling in. Coming to lie flat on the floor. Knees bent or legs extended. Bringing your awareness to your breath and using the exhales to settle. To release into that support, that security beneath you. Aware of the breath without controlling it. Just noticing your natural rhythm. I'm going to try to bring to you something that I've been working with a couple of different teachers in the past month. Is wise effort. What is wise effort? And how does that translate into the body, the mind, the breath? Using wise effort to achieve a balance. To come back to the presence called stillness, which is always there. To come back to the presence, which is called silence, which is always there. So this stillness that we settle into with the body, and the silence that fills the space surrounding us, it's always there. We bring the focus to the breath, and the thoughts start to become a little stiller and quieter. Inhale, filling the heart space. Exhale, maybe sighing the breath out. Maybe just parting the lips. Deep inhales, filling the front and back of the heart space. Exhaling slowly. One breath following the next. And noticing the pause, especially after the exhale, before that next breath in. Two more rounds of breath like this. Inhaling completely, exhaling fully without an ounce of effort. And with your next inhale, allow the arms to extend up overhead, maybe out to the side feels better for your shoulders right now. Just soften there. And then allow a reach through the fingertips without popping out of the shoulder sockets. Maybe you're extending into the heels, drawing the toes towards the knees. Maybe pointing the toes away from you. With your exhale, the hands float to either side of the hips, or maybe you bend at the elbows and tap the center of your chest. With your next inhale, the arms float up overhead, or maybe just out to the sides. And with your exhale, to the hips or the center of the chest. Simple movement linked with breath. Few more rounds like this. Aware of the breath. Aware of the movement linked to the breath. And finding some ease in that movement. The next time you exhale, allow the hands to float to either side of hips. Inhale there and exhale, draw one knee and then the other in towards the chest. Clasping in back of the thighs, maybe rocking from side to side or making some circles with the knees. Whatever feels good for you right now. Honoring your body always. Not doing anything that doesn't feel good. Yoga should always feel good. Becoming aware slowly of what you've brought to your practice. And allowing the feet to float to the floor as you come to stillness. Exhaling that right knee in towards the chest again. Just the right. Left foot remains on the floor with the knee to the ceiling. Soften through the shoulders. And with your next exhale, as you gather the belly, maybe you have some space to allow that thigh to come a little closer to the belly. With your next inhale, allow that leg to extend straight up to the ceiling. The right hip roots to the floor, the right heel reaches, the toes come towards the knee, towards you. The sole of the foot long and broad, equal length between the big toe and the pinky toe. So they're parallel to the earth. Just noticing as you honor this sensation in the back of the thigh. Slightly bend the knee. Breathe there. And with your inhale, extend into the heel. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale as if you were pushing the thigh away from you, not reaching into the back of the knee. Think about the thigh, the femur bone. Move in and out, exhaling and inhaling. Maybe moving a little deeper into the back of that thigh, the hamstrings. And then finding some stillness as you reach and extend, keeping that foot flexed and crossing the ankle over the thigh. Softening there, allowing that right knee to float away from you. As you allow the breath to move into the right hip, the lower back, maybe somewhere in the thigh. We're just noticing where you feel or if you feel sensation. And then find the breath again. Maybe staying right here, maybe walking or stepping that left heel a little closer to the sitting bone. Offering that right knee to move away from you. And with your exhale, maybe both knees float a little to the left. With your inhale, they come up to center. And with your exhale, they float over again. Keep offering, inviting that right knee to work away from you, to lengthen through the right side body, to find ease in the movement as you work with the breath. Maybe you're resting in stillness, and that's the place you need to be right now. With your next inhale up, find that stillness again. Exhaling, the belly gathers, and inhaling, that leg extends straight up to the ceiling again with a slightly bent knee. And as you gather the belly in and up, maybe you exhale a straight leg slowly towards the earth. Maybe you bend the knee, let the foot land and slide the leg out in front of you. And then let the left leg come to meet the right. Take a couple of rounds of breath here, just noticing if there's any difference between the way the right side rests on the earth as compared to the left side. Exhaling, bending the right knee, placing that foot on the earth, and drawing the left knee in for a hug. Soften through the shoulders and the jaw. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Keep length in the left side body. So you're drawing the thigh to the belly with the exhale, but not hiking up the hip. Keeping length, working into the hip socket. Take what you need, let go of the rest. Maybe you connect with the cues, maybe you don't. Do what feels right for your body right now. With your inhale, that leg extends straight up to the ceiling as you reach into the heel, drawing the toes towards you. Grounding through that left hip. Extending into the left heel. Reaching from the inner thigh, the inner groin, all the way up into the big toe. With the big toe and pinky toe on the same plane. Maybe you need to draw the pinky toe side towards you, or maybe the big toe side. With your exhale, slightly bend into that left knee. With your inhale, press the femur bone away from you. Work into the back of the thigh, the muscle, the middle of the back of the thigh. We say the belly of the muscle, not the back of the knee. Use the breath. And the next time you inhale, find stillness in that extension. Keeping the foot flexed, cross the ankle over the thigh. And soften that left knee away from you. Invite a lengthening through the left side body. So the left side and the right side are the same length. Sacrum resting on the earth. Breathing into the space in the left hip. And we imagine the breath is moving there, right? We don't actually breathe into a hip. But we use the awareness that the breath brings to soften. Maybe you're staying right here. Maybe you have some space to walk that right heel a little closer to the sitting bone. Maybe you're staying right here. Keep inviting that left knee to move away from you without forcing anything. Keeping the left foot flexed. Maybe both knees float over to the right. Maybe with your inhale, you float back up to center, moving with your breath slowly, aware of where the body is, of how it feels, of where your edge is, and not going any further. Moving throughout the breath and smoothing out that movement as you smooth out the breath. Letting go of all efforting. And the next time you inhale up, exhale, land in the hips again. And inhale, extend the heels straight up to the ceiling. Bending the knee and floating it to the earth, or maybe extending the leg straight and using the core muscles to slowly lower that leg to the earth. And then extending the right leg out to meet it. Taking a few rounds of breath here, using the breath to scan the body. Finding presence in the stillness. Finding the peace that the pose can bring you, each pose, and the stillness of it. With your exhale, the knees draw up in towards the chest. Maybe circling the knees away from each other, or together again, making some circles through the hips, opposite directions, and then reversing those circles. And then floating the feet back down to the earth and walking them the width of the mat and finding your reclined windshield wiper. With your exhale, both knees float over to one side. With your inhale, they come back up to center. And with your exhale, over to the other side. Allowing gravity to draw the legs closer to the earth. You are not forcing it. Allowing a lengthening as you release. Maybe there's a pause in that exhale where you settle into the pose before you inhale up and then exhale over to the other side. What do you notice? What do you become aware of? One side a little different than the other? Are you gripping or over efforting in the shoulders or the jaw? Can you smooth out the movement? Next time the knees come up towards the ceiling, walk the feet back to hips distance. And using your arm as a pillow, roll over to one side or the other. Allow the knees to come up towards your chest. Closing off that hip crease. Rounding through the back body. Soften through the shoulders. Maybe they come a little forward of the hips. Allow the breath to fill the lungs. Feel the back body, allow it to expand, to broaden with every inhale. To soften with every exhale. With your next exhale, the pit of the belly gathers. We use the hands to press into the earth and use the core muscles to draw ourselves up and then over, finding our tabletop. Take the time to pad your knees. Finding your foundation and rooting into that foundation. Softening as the shoulder blades slide away from the ears and then broaden across the back body. Arms are active without locking out the elbows. So letting go of the efforting, finding the support without an ounce of extra effort. With your exhale, the tailbone tips towards the heels, the back, the spine starts to lift towards the ceiling. As you root into the floor without efforting, maybe the crown of the head floats towards the floor, maybe not. With your inhale, the tailbone lifts, the belly softens to the earth. The heart reaches between the armpits. Maybe you lift the gaze. Moving in and out of your cat and cow with the option of curling the toes under and then opening, lying the tops of the feet on the floor as you move in and out. Curious about what you brought to your practice today. How does it feel, your back body? Can you move with supple smoothness? With the breath, start to open up and let go. One more round like this. This time, as you exhale, press into your mat as if you were trying to slide the hands away from you, and press into the shins as if they could reach back without over efforting. And with your inhale, draw the heel of your hands and the knees towards each other. See if you can go a little deeper. Maybe one more round like this. Going just a little deeper. The breath is still smooth with the movement. And then finding child pose as you extend the hip creases back towards the heels, big toes touch, knees walk a little bit wider to allow the belly to soften between the thighs. Lengthen here. Inhale, lift up off the floor a little, reach the sternum and the crown of the head out of the hips, and exhale, melt towards the earth. Allowing the third eye to make contact with something. And then find the breath, connect with the breath again. And allow it to move into or onto the back body, to fill the lungs, and to find that broadening. As the muscles soften between the ribs, and the entire thoracic body fills with breath. Soften through the shoulders, whether your arms are resting on the earth or extended forward for a deeper child pose. There's still not an extra ounce of effort. Exhale there and inhale, walking yourself up, letting the knees come back under the hips to find your tabletop again. Set yourselves up so the foundation is strong, so you feel safe, secure, and supported. And from there, we exhale and gather the belly, and inhale, extend the right leg straight back onto the floor, curling the toes under. Shoulders stay right there, just in back of the wrist creases. As you inhale, reach a little further into the heel. You feel a little more space in the hip socket, maybe. A little more lengthening, no effort. With your inhale, the leg lifts to the ceiling. Straight out of the hip, both hips stay facing the earth. Find the breath. Maybe this is where you're staying. Maybe you're experimenting with inhaling the opposite arm. The left arm extends alongside your ear, soft in the shoulder socket. Smooth out the movements. Try to slow everything down. Maybe you're resting right here, soft shoulders, easy breath, gazing to the floor, long back of the neck. Maybe with your exhale, the knee and the elbow come together slowly, and with your inhale, you reach and lengthen out. Maybe your hand comes to the floor and you're just exhaling the knee in towards the belly, the thigh to the belly, knee to chest. Maybe 2 more rounds like this. Slow it down. What do you notice? What do you feel? Do you notice? Are you aware of the rounding of the lower back? Of the core muscles that stabilize you? Nice. With your next exhale, float that hand and knee to the floor. Come up over the knees so you're standing on your knees, hips and shoulders over them so that you can roll through the shoulders, big circles. Up, back, and down. Moving slowly with the breath. Coming all the way up. Hugging the shoulder blades together, opening across the front body, and then reversing those circles. Inhale, the shoulder blades, the shoulders come up to the ears. Exhale, soften them down the back. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhaling, soften them down the back and draw them together without efforting. And with your exhale, hinge forward from the hips, walk yourself into that tabletop again. Long spine. Soft back of the neck. Finding that length. Hips reaching back. Crown of the head, top of the head, extending forward. With your inhale, that left leg reaches back, curling the toes under as you extend into the heel. Both hips face the floor. Keep everything right where it is, and maybe with your inhale, that leg lifts straight out of the hip. Nice, find the breath. And with awareness, slowly, mindfully, maybe you experiment with inhaling the right arm alongside your ears, softening it in the shoulder socket. To move deeper, lifting the thumb towards the ceiling so the palm is facing in. Soften here. Extending from the fingertips through the heels, lengthening on a diagonal. Maybe that right arm floats down. Maybe you're able to exhale and draw the knee and the elbow together, allowing the lower back to round, supporting it with the belly. Drawing in, inhale, lengthening, extending. Exhale, draw it in. Slowly, aware of what it takes to keep a relative stillness. Keep the shoulders right where they are. Keep the breath smooth. Next time you exhale, floating the hand and the knee to the floor. Take some hip circles there. Hips reach back in the direction of the heels, floating over to the side, forward a little. 3 times around one direction. And 3 times in the other. And then finding stillness again near tabletop. Curling the toes under. With your exhale, reach the hip creases back as you press into the palm of the hand, the pads of the fingers. Arms are still in the shoulder sockets. As we aim to allow the ears to float between the arms and the hip creases to reach up and back. Exhaling there, gathering the belly, lifting the knees, and inhaling into your downward facing dog. Move slowly with awareness. The core is lifting you, not just the arms. Nice, and bicycle out, walk that dog. Slowly with the breath. So it takes a full half breath to bend into one knee, to come back to both knees bent, and then work into the opposite knee with the next half breath. Maybe one side feels different than the other. And then find stillness there. Gaze forward between the hands, deeply bend the knees, and walk the hands and feet together. And inhale into half forward fold with the hands resting on the thighs. Long spine parallel to the earth. Soften the chin towards the notch in the collarbone. And find your foundation in the soles of the feet. Breathing in, breathing out. Shoulder blades slide to the center of the back, deepening that opening across the collarbone. Exhaling, the belly gathers. Inhale, tailbone lowers to the floor as you reach up into your Tadasana. Move it around a little. Let the feet be hips distance. Find the circumference of your heels and root into them. Let the toes just rest on the earth. Maybe the legs become active. The pit of the belly gathers. Maybe with your inhale, you're able to lengthen straight up through the crown of the head, softening the shoulder blades down the back, rooting down into the feet and the active legs, and inhaling, the ribs lift out of the hips. Finding your foundation as you root into the earth and lengthening up from there. With your inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. Maybe the heel of the hands touch, the fingertips come to touch. With your exhale, float it to the heart center. Inhaling, the fingertips reach to the floor, out to the side, around, and up. Exhaling, heart center. Last time. Big inhale. Complete exhale. Allow the fingertips to extend back down to the earth. Soften into the stillness of your mountain pose. Without an ounce of extra effort, you root into the foundation of the feet and lengthen through the crown of the head. Letting go of all efforting. Aware of the breath as it moves through the body. Still and not so still. Notice, become aware of the subtle movements in the body. As the breath moves through you, in and out, filling the lungs, the response of the body to the breath. With your next inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. And with your exhale, maybe you swan dive down into a half forward fold, allowing the body to be parallel to the earth. Inhaling there, lengthening as if you could draw the earlobes away from the shoulders slide down the back. With your exhale, reach the hip creases towards the rim and back of you. The knees are soft. The breath is smooth. With your inhale, hinging up just a couple of inches. With your exhale, hinging closer to the earth, parallel or maybe a little closer. Inhaling up, exhaling, hinging. Maybe the arms inhale out into cactus. Maybe that doesn't feel so good for you and you're bringing them back to the tops of the thighs. Aware of the shoulder blades hugging together. Aware of the soft back of the neck, of the breath, initiating the movement of the core body, supporting you, reacting to gravity, responding to gravity. Nice. The next inhale, float all the way up to stand, maybe extending the arms up overhead, and then floating them to the heart center. And allowing them to float to the hips. Nice. Coming to face the long side of your mat and walking the feet nice and wide. About 3 feet apart. With the edges of the feet parallel to the edges of the mat or thereabouts. And then find that foundation again, where as you root into the soles of the feet, the legs become active without locking out the knees. Deep breath in here and exhaling, floating forward throughout that breath. Body parallel to the earth. The hands are on the tops of the thighs. Weight on the outside of the heel and the pinky toe, but also rooting into the big toe and inner heel. Can you lift from the inside of the thighs and root down without efforting? Deeply bending into that right knee, reach into that left leg. Lifting the inner thigh up and down. Inhale, float back to center. Exhale. Active legs. Strong core supporting you. Smooth breath. Soften the back of the neck. Find the breath. Actively lifting that inner thigh, reaching into the sole of the foot. Nice. The next time you inhale to center, find stillness there. Exhale, gather the belly, and inhale, floating all the way up. Take a couple of shoulder loops here. Find the breath, smooth it out. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. And pivot the right foot to point to the short end of your mat. Let the left heel come out maybe just a little. The hands are on the hip bones so that you can tell, are they level? Maybe you can level out the hips. But allow the left hip to be a little forward of the right. And then find your foundation. So soften through the lower back. Root into the feet. Allow the legs to become active without locking out or reaching into the back of that left knee. With your inhale, as you root down, you're inhaling, lifting through the ribs, and exhaling, gentle turn to the left. So that now the shoulders are broad and open, and you can extend into the fingertips. And breathe into that space that you've created. Maybe gazing over the right hand. As you reach into the left foot, the foundation of that leg from the inner thigh down, with your exhale, settle the hips, bend into that right knee. Warrior two. Let go of all the efforting, find the ease in the pose, find the breath. Strong foundation without any efforting. With your exhale, the left arm floats to the back of the thigh. With your inhale, the right arm floats straight up to the ceiling, softening into the shoulder socket. Inhale, finding even more length through the back body as you lift. Exhale, floating back into your peaceful warrior. Soften there. Find the breath filling that open right side. Allow it to move into that space. Backing out of anything that doesn't feel good. What are you aware of? What sensations? What's your body telling you? Without attaching or judging, with your inhale floating back into your warrior two. Reaching forward through the right fingertips, floating the right forearm to the thigh, the left hand to the hip. Inhale, finding length through the core and strength and support. Exhale, maybe floating a little closer towards the thigh. maybe not. Maybe with your inhale, you reach that left arm straight up to the ceiling, right off the shoulder. Maybe you can bring it towards the earth, making a circle and landing alongside your ear, reaching, recommitting to that pinky toe side of the left foot, reaching through the left fingertips without an ounce of extra effort. Softening where you need to. Root into the feet. Exhale there. Inhale. Bring yourself back up into your warrior two. Float the arms down. Straighten that right leg. Heel toe. Step the feet together. Find your Tadasana. Maybe your hands come together at the heart center. In prayer pose, maybe one hand on top of the other, your palm resting on your upper chest. Maybe your arms are extended, but connect with the breath. Smooth it out. Soft breath in, easy breath out. Aware of any gripping and tension and softening with the exhale. Finding the peace in the pose, the stillness that's always there. Silence that's always there. And just becoming aware of it. Softly blinking open the eyes if you've closed them, walking the feet back to 3 feet or so, nice wide foundation, pivoting the left foot to the short end of the mat. Maybe the right heel comes out a little further than the toes. Do you feel safe and supported? Soften the shoulder blades down the back and root into that foundation. Activate the legs. From the inner thigh on the right leg, reaching down into the big toe and pinky toe side of the foot. Letting that right hip come a little forward of the left. The tailbone not lifted, not pointing to the floor, somewhere in between to soften in the lower back. And with your exhale, you're bending into that right knee. Keeping the work in the back leg, that right leg. Bending into the left knee, right? Nice. Inhale, lifting the ribs out of the hips. Exhale, pivot a little to the left, to the right, sorry. And inhale, extended to the fingertips. We're floating into these poses, moving slowly, mindfully, smoothing out the movement with the breath, gazing over the left hand if that feels good, soften there. Letting go of all efforting and backing out of anything that doesn't feel good. Rooting down so we can lengthen up. What happens in the stillness of the pose? What are you aware of? Can you find the silence? And then connect with the peace of the breath. With your exhale, the right hand floats to the back of the thigh. With your inhale, the left arm extends to reach towards the ceiling, softening in the shoulder socket. Rooting down, committing to that foundation again. Inhaling, lengthening through the back body as ribs lift. Exhale, floating into your peaceful warrior. Softening into that stillness. Allowing the breath to move into the left side body. What do you become aware of in the silence? You find the peace of the breath. With your inhale, floating back into warrior two. Reaching forward through the left fingertips, keep the shoulders, the core body right where it is. Just the left arm lowers to the thigh. The right hand comes to the hip. Inhale, lengthening the ribs out of the hips. Exhale, maybe the heart pivots towards the ceiling. Strong foundation, active core, maybe inhaling, the right arm extends towards the ceiling, and this is where you're staying. Maybe you're circling that arm towards the floor, and it extends alongside your ear as you reach into the pinky toe side of the right foot and extend, lengthen through the entire body. Reach through the fingertips, but soft shoulders. Exhaling there, inhaling, coming back up. Warrior two felt hard in the beginning, now it's easy. Exhale, float the hands down, straighten that left leg and heel toe, walk the feet together. Find your Tadasana. Find the support you need as you root into the circumference of the heels, lengthen through the crown of the head. Find the breath. Smooth it out. Sigh the breath out if that helps. Softly blink open the eyes if you close them. Allow the hands to float to the hips. Step to the top of your mat, the short end of your mat, whatever the top is. Rooting into both feet and then allowing the weight to shift into that left leg so that you can step or slide the right foot back. The heel lands. Nice. Maybe you need to walk that left foot out to the side a little for a wider foundation. Both hips are facing forward, preparing for warrior one. Keeping that connection to the heel of the right foot. Active leg. Open hip crease. Exhale, settle the hips towards the earth as you bend into that left knee. Shoulders stay right where they were, over the hips. Soften the lower back. Root down. Gather the belly so that you can inhale, lengthen up out of the hips. Maybe the arms come up into cactus. Slow it down. Move with the breath. With your exhale, as you reach into that left heel and lengthen through the crown of the head on the inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, float up, any amount. Exhale, hips, shoulders stay facing the floor. Inhale all the way up. One more time like this. Lengthening the sternum away from the belly, keeping a long back body, and inhaling all the way up. Float the arms down, step that back foot forward, shake it out, let it go. Land in your foundation, find the breath. Allow the weight to shift over the right leg so that you can step or slide that left foot back. Hands float to the hips so you can become aware of where the hips are in space, not forcing anything. Do you need to walk that right foot out to the side a little more to have a wider foundation? Find the connection as you lift the left thigh to reach down towards the left heel. Exhale, bend into that right knee, float into your warrior one. Did the knee track the first and second toe. Did it land over your ankle, not past it? Maybe you're staying with a straight leg. Always options. Modify so it feels good. Inhaling, arms float up into cactus. Or maybe not. Aware of the shoulder blades, active on the back body without an ounce of effort. With your exhale, root into that left heel. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Hinge at the hip, right hip. Keeping that open front body. Inhale all the way up. Find your breath. 3 more times like this. Exhaling, hinging. Inhaling, shoulders over hips. What do you notice? What do you become aware of? Don't force anything, just allow it. And then finding stillness after that third round. Don't rush it. Moving the hands down, coming up onto the toes of that foot so you can step it forward. Always moving slowly with intention. Maybe walking the feet a little bit wider and taking some hip circles. And then finding your mountain pose again. And rooting down. Lengthening up. Connecting with the breath. Even it out. What do you become aware of in the stillness? Aware of the silence. Aware of the breath. Finding the ease in the pose. Softly blinking open the eyes, allowing the hands to float to the hips and finding a gazing point ahead of you. Allowing the weight to shift over to the right leg, coming onto the toes of the left. Find the foundation. If you have a piece of furniture or a wall that you'd like to use to steady you in the standing poses, use it. Maybe you're staying right here. Strong, active standing leg without locking out the knee. Left knee bent on the ball of that foot. Broad across the shoulders. Maybe rotating that left leg in the hip sockets, allowing the heel to rest against the ankle. Soften. Maybe you're staying right here. Maybe you're able to exhale and bring the foot to the calf. Active standing leg pressing into the foot pressing into the standing leg, breath smooth, soft gaze. Maybe you inhale the hands to the heart center. Maybe you inhale the arms to open. Maybe they extend towards the ceiling. Maybe you're inhaling the big toe off the floor and exhale, tapping it down. This is your tree pose and it's just for today, at this moment. Might be different tomorrow. What does it look like today? Breathing with that. Meeting your body wherever it is. Softening there. With your exhale, the hands float to the hips. With your inhale, the knee floats forward. Strong standing leg. Maybe you can extend that leg straight out in front of you and slowly, mindfully lower it to the earth. Let that go. Each side is different. Starting with your mountain pose again. Connecting to the support beneath you. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, weight shifts to the left leg, coming onto the toes of the right. Drawing that left hip in, lengthening straight up through the crown of the head. Soften the chin to the notch in the collarbone. No effort in. Rotating the right leg in the hip socket, allowing the heel to rest against the ankle. Maybe you're staying here with the toes on the earth. Maybe you're exhaling that foot to press into the ankle or the calf. The knee is drawing, the thigh is opening to the room in back of you. Active right leg presses into the standing leg, the left leg, and there's an energy that allows you to lengthen straight up through the crown of the head. Take what you need, let go of the rest. If you have a wall, you can work on that foundation without worrying about wobbling out of it. Maybe you inhale the hands to the heart center. Maybe they extend and open. Maybe they reach towards the ceiling. Your tree pose on this side might look very different than the other. Meet your body wherever it is. Find peace in the stillness. Exhaling, allow the hands to float to the hips. Inhale, that knee floats forward. Maybe that leg extends before slowly coming to the earth. Shake it out, let it go, and then find your Tadasana again. Inhale, fill the front and back of the heart space. Exhale, land in the soles of your feet. Inhale, breathing into the back body. Softening with the exhale. With your next inhale, find a little more length. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Soften through the shoulders. With your next inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. With your exhale, hinge forward, swan dive. There, soften the knees. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, maybe hinging closer to the earth. Root into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring it to the heart center. 2 more rounds like this. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, hinging forward, soft knees. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Maybe exhale, hinging a little closer to the earth. Inhaling all the way up to stand. Exhaling, heart center. Last time. Arms move out, around, and up with the breath. Body hinges forward, leading with the crown of the head. Finding a lengthening here with your inhale. Finding a softening deeper with the exhale. As you deeply bend the knees, allow the hands to float to your mat, to step one knee back and then the other to the earth, and then finding child pose. Maybe walking the knees wide. Maybe keeping them together. With your inhale, lift the core body up a little. Lengthen the sternum away from the belly button. Keep that length, float, melt to the earth. Hinging over the thighs. Keeping length in the front and back body, and then melt there and allow the breath to fill the back of the heart. Deep breath in, easy breath out, soften through the shoulders and the jaw. Maybe it feels good for you to walk your hands back towards your heels, allowing the shoulders to drape forward to the earth or down to the earth. 2 more rounds of breath here. What do you become aware of in the stillness, in the silence? Walking the hands forward if you've walked them back. Press into the earth and inhale yourself all the way up to sit onto your heels. Let the heels come to one side, the hips to the other. Extend the legs straight out in front of you. So there's a gentle bend to the knees as you reach into the heels and lengthen from the inner thigh through the big toes, finding the sitting bones rooted to the earth. And inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, soften through the shoulders, pit of the belly gathers as you lengthen up. Legs are active, maybe internally rotating towards the earth a little, so knees point straight up. Find the breath. Walk the hands back in back of you, bend the knees, walk the feet the width of the mat and find your windshield wiper. Keeping that length through the core body, the heart lifted. Allow the spine to twist from the waist down, allowing gravity to draw the legs closer to the earth, not pushing them. A lengthening through the side body. And then coming back to stillness, walking the feet back to hips distance in one hand and then the other comes to the back of the thighs. Inhaling, lengthening straight up, draw yourself a little closer to the thighs maybe. And then open up the arms, keeping that long spine. Taking a few rounds of breath here, maybe the palms come to face the ceiling. You're lifting the heart towards the ceiling, softening the jaw and the back of the neck, and the breath is smooth and even. And maybe with your exhale, you're carving out the belly to slowly lower yourself down, maybe coming to the elbows or over to your side and bringing yourself all the way down to lie flat on the earth. One leg and then the other extends straight out in front of you. Allow the back body to meet the earth and then rest into that support. Big inhale, softening exhale. Breathe into that space below the collarbone. Soft breath in, easy breath out. With your next exhale, gather the belly and draw those knees in for a hug. Maybe rocking from side to side. Moving slowly, aware of what you feel, giving a gentle massage to the hips. Maybe you're aware of the muscles down the length of the spine on either side of the back body. Find stillness there. Let both feet float to the earth. With bent knees up to the ceiling, the heels walk a little closer to the hips. Shoulder blades slide down the back and tuck under the heart space. The back of the head rests on the earth, the chin tucks towards the notch in the collarbone, and we soften there. And maybe this is where you're staying. Active legs, pressing the feet, reaching into the earth. Inner thighs drawing together without the knees touching. Maybe with your exhale, you gather the belly and inhale, lift the hips. Maybe only an inch or two. With your exhale, you lower down. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, landing on the sacrum. Maybe you're inhaling, working your way up the back body to rest on the shoulders as they root into the earth, and the heart pops towards the room in back of you, lifts towards the chin. Exhale, rolling down one vertebra at a time, coming to land on the sacrum. Your practice, rolling in and out of bridge pose, or maybe resting in stillness if you like to come to the fullest expression of the pose and find the breath there. Active legs, back body lifts as the front body lengthens. Front body contracts to open up through the back. Moving with the breath slowly and mindfully, finding your edge and not forcing yourself to go past it. Finding the ease in the movement, and maybe that means resting with the hips on the floor and just coming to the breath. And the movement of the breath in and out of the body. And with your next exhale, lowering all the way down in, we all come to stillness with the hips on the earth. Inhale there. Exhale, draw the knees in for a hug. And maybe you extend both legs straight up to the ceiling. For a few rounds of breath. If it feels better to tuck your hands under or place a block or a blanket under your hips. Just allowing for this gentle inversion. Knees are a little bent, legs are soft. Or maybe you're able to reach into the heels and then soften there as the legs extend straight up 90 degrees out of the hips. Soften the breath, allow the back body to rest into the earth, not an ounce of efforting. Front body is engaged to help with this flex of at the hips. And when you're ready, you're bending the knees and floating the feet back to the earth. A couple of rounds of breath here. Walk the feet the width of the mat and find that windshield wiper again. And then find some stillness there. Walk the feet back to hips distance. Extend the left leg straight out on the floor in front of you. Exhale the right knee over the hip. Let the left hand come to the outside of the right knee. And draw that knee over into a twist, extending the right arm out to the side. Gazing to the ceiling to start. Soften through the shoulders. You're trying to root both shoulder blades flat on the earth, lengthening through the right side body, breathing into that space. And if it's comfortable for you, maybe you're turning the chin towards the shoulder. Right chin, right shoulder. Gazing towards that right hand. Soften there. What do you become aware of in the stillness? Resting in the silence. Aware of the breath and the peace that it brings. As you allow the focus to be on that breath. With your inhale, if you turn your head, you're gazing to the ceiling. With your exhale, you're allowing that knee to float up. And then extend that right leg straight out onto the floor. Exhaling the left knee over the hip. Taking the right hand to the outside of the knee. As you exhale and draw that knee over, hips start to stack, shoulders rest flat on the earth, extending through that left arm. Nice opening through the entire left side of the body, gentle twist. Find the breath. The belly is soft. The ribs expand to accept the breath. No efforting. Easing to the fingertips on the left hand. Chin comes towards the left shoulder if that feels good for you. Smooth, easy breath. With your inhale, gaze up to the ceiling. Exhaling, that knee comes back up. Maybe both knees come in for a final hug, taking any other movement that you need to complete your practice, and then covering up for Shavasana. So if you have socks or a blanket or a sweatshirt that you need to put back on again, take the time. Maybe you need a blanket under your knees, or you have a pillow to put under your knees or the back of your head. What do you need so that you can rest? And then allowing the body to release into that support beneath you. Using the exhales to let go of any remaining gripping and tension. Softening the space between the eyes. Allowing the eyes to rest into the back of the head. Forehead melts to the earth. All the muscles surrounding the jaw soften and release. Allowing the root of the tongue to be heavy into the back of the throat. The tongue slips away from the roof of the mouth and the lips soften. All the muscles in the face melt towards the earth. Even the scalp softens. Aware of the support of the earth beneath you. Of our connection to the earth and releasing into that support. It's always there for us. We stop, we become still. We let go. We can receive the energy all around us. We soften into this presence of stillness. Stillness that's always there, available for us. Pause. We're aware of the presence called silence. Silence is always there. We stop and allow it. We allow ourselves the experience of awareness. When the mind gets quiet, we can rest in the stillness, aware of the silence, and in touch of our awareness. We don't have to do anything. It's all right here in you. Courage, kindness, peace, healing, awakening. They're all who we are, who you are. With this nature of wise effort, we can tap into all that's in us, just waiting. Rising to the occasion is a choice. Life is a series of moments, and we choose to rise to these moments in different ways, but it's all right there in you. If we just take a minute to soften into the stillness and the silence, we become aware. With just a little bit of effort, we remember what's been handed down to us through our ancestors. It's all there. And we begin again. With each moment, a new chance, another chance. We try again to remember, to become aware of what is already there. The peace that rests in us. The peace of a loving heart. And we share that. We have a new normal. We have to wear masks when we go out. We can't even smile and be noticed by the people we meet. But we can still make eye contact. I was forgetting I could even talk with a mask on. We'll find other ways to connect, but we need to connect to know that we're supported, that we have a safe community, friends, relatives, family. We become stronger together. That we have faith. With the breath, we can settle into ourselves and move forward. The breath that's always there to bring us back. Slowly becoming aware of the earth beneath you, of the space surrounding you. Gently deepening your inhales and exhale. And slowly bringing your body back from stillness with small, gentle movements, just the fingertips softly rubbing against each other, wiggling the toes, circling the wrists, circling the ankles. Maybe slowly turning your head from side to side. Maybe with a deep awakening inhale, you extend and reach through the fingertips. With your exhale, you float them back to either side of the hips. Inhaling there. Exhaling, drawing one knee and then the other in for a hug, maybe rocking from side to side. And then allowing the feet to rest softly onto the earth with bent knees, transitioning here. Feeling more awake and alert with every inhale, relaxed and peaceful. Ready to embrace the day ahead of you. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. And allowing the breath to fill the front and back of the heart space. Just noticing what your practice has given to you today. And taking whatever that is into the rest of your day. Resisting the urge to open your eyes. If that suits you, press the earth away and draw yourself up into a comfortable, easy seated position. And with your inhale, the arms extend. With your exhale, the palms float together to rest at the heart center. And we lift our hearts. And we bow our heads to honor that perfect light that shines in all of us, uniting us. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Hope you feel good.
Thanks, Marie.
You're welcome.
It was
It's good to
Have a
be with
great day.
you. Thank you. Maybe we'll try this again Wednesday if you think you're up for it.
I'll be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Great. Enjoy your day, everybody.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Welcome.
Bye.